I have to send a shout out to, believe it or not, Tokyo, Japan.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
We were checking analytics, and in the past 7 days, for listeners, not for viewers on YouTube, but for listeners, Tokyo had 700 listeners in the past 7 days.
That's weird.
It's really weird. And it's so it's the most listeners of any place for the last 7 days. And then number 2 was the U.S., number 3 was Hong Kong, and number 4 was Salt Lake City.
Interesting.
You'd think that it would be Utah and Salt Lake City first.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome Tokyo, Hong Kong, Salt Lake City, any place else, to another edition of Odyssey House Journals. I'm your host, Randall Carlisle. Our guest today is Felicia Ferry.
Hello.
Hello. And if you'll notice that her top matches the couch and the pants. Yes, nice shades of blue. You're in long-term recovery, right?
Yes.
How long?
7 years and 3 months, to be exact.
Not that you're counting, right?
No.
How long, maybe we could dip a little into your past. How long, when did your dealing with addiction start? How did it start? And then how did it finally end?
Okay. So,
In 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, you're done. Okay.
For me, I started in high school, just, started with the marijuana, then started doing the cocaine and started doing the Adderall. And by 11th grade, I was pretty into that all that I, dropped out then. And then I started getting into the Oxycontins and the meth and then the heroin. And then I pretty much just went from high school on till I was 34. I mean, I had times of sobriety where I'd have I think the longest time I ever did was about a year sober. And I had some jobs and maintain here and there every now and then.
Well, that's a long time to be in addiction.
Yeah.
Did you have run-ins with the law?
Yeah, went to jail a lot. My first time going to jail was in Arizona, Maricopa County. And I was like this little small girl. I had like this butterfly tank top on, this mini skirt, these flip-flops, and went to that jail and they had to extradite me back here. So yeah, they walked me through the airport in shackles. Really? In my mini skirt.
What was that when that hardcore sheriff ran the jail down there?
They had tent city. You had to be sentenced to go out to the tents, but
so you didn't go out.
I didn't go out there, but still, it was pretty scary. It was like 187 women in one room, and the bunk beds were like 3 bunk beds high, and they were.
At what age?
Gosh, I don't even know.
In your 20s?
I mean, 20s, early 20s, yeah.
Must have been scary.
Yeah.
And so you're flown back here.
Yeah, they flew me back on Delta.
And walked. So did you obviously had a guard with you.
Yeah, I had 2 guards with me and shackles, and went on Delta and flew me to Utah County, to this airport, and then I went to Utah County Jail, and then from there, still just in and out of Utah County, Salt Lake County jails for.
What was that like? I can't imagine walking through the airport in shackles.
I know.
Did you have them on your feet or just on your hands?
Well, they had to take them off my feet because I had flip-flops and a miniskirt, and it was cutting my ankles. And then they took my ones on my wrist because everyone was staring at me weird, and they just had me shackled with one hand and the handcuffs in my pocket.
Because people would think, what'd you think? Well,
yeah, right?
She's a killer, or she's dangerous, or let's stay away.
Yeah.
Wow. And so that went, and did you have failed relationships along the way, or?
Oh, yes. I mean, with my family, for sure. Like my parents, they, for a long time, they just kept always, they'd try to come chase me down, come find me. And finally they got to the point where they were just like, you know what, we're done with you. And for the first couple of years, I was like, cool, that's what I want. I want them to leave me alone. And at this time, my mom was taking care of my son. So, but then after a while, I was like, wait, I don't want them to be done with me. And so then, that's when I started to really get sober this time, is because I was doing it for myself. I wasn't being pushed into treatment, because all the other times I was doing it for my family or for somebody else,
Explain why. I facilitate a family support group, and it's so hard to persuade parents of addicted loved ones to just leave. No matter what you say, if your loved one doesn't want to get help, it doesn't matter what you say. So why is it so important that you decided to do it for yourself?
And I definitely want to talk about that. And I've learned, because you know how you've heard some parents say, like, well, I'd rather my kid do it here and be safe or something.
Right,
I don't think that's not right. You can't do that, because if you, I've learned this just between like my son, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I'm just going to go with it. Between my son's dad's family and then my family, I've learned that, because as a parent, you don't know if you should like just be okay with it and be there for them,
Being
or
a cool parent.
Or if you really need to back away from them and wipe your hands clean of them, which way works. And I definitely think that way works the best. No matter what my mom would say, she would just say things, and I would just say, I know, and like I was just lying, and nothing she could say to me would help me, and it had to be on my own time. But at the same time, I also wanted to be, I wanted to show my parents, like, I wanted them to be proud of me, or
I can
whatever.
do it.
And if you're a parent that you're just okay with them doing drugs, I don't think you'll ever change. I have my son's family, their parents are kind of not okay with it, but they are okay with it, kind of, and they just never change. At least for now.
Well, so you're right. You didn't directly answer the question. Why is it important for an individual, all of us who are in recovery, to decide to do it for yourself as opposed to a lover, a parent, whatever?
Like for me or the parent? What are you saying?
For you.
Yeah.
Or the individuals you work with, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, but the people who come into treatment, the ones who succeed are the ones who want to do it for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if you're just doing it for somebody else, it only works for so long. Like, you're doing it, or even when people say, I'm doing this for my kids, it's kind of like, you don't want to. You don't want to do it for them. You got to do it for you and then them. And you doing it for them, you doing it for yourself, then you can do it for them too along the way.
And you are doing it for them, but your motivation is for you.
It's for you. It's got to be. You got to be like, okay, I want more for myself. I want to change. You got to think about it long term. Like, can't be doing this shit forever. Like, where's it gonna get me? Either
death,
prison, prison, or mentally handicapped.
Sure.
Because you've used
especially
so much
people
drugs.
who use meth.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone through 4 wives, okay, and all of them said, Randall, you're an alcoholic. And I always said, no, I'm not. I just drink a lot and I like to drink.
Yeah.
Right? And any time I would try to get sober, it was for them, not for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and I had the hardest time finally after going through an outpatient program and everything and detox and all that stuff, showing up at a meeting and saying, I'm Randall, I'm an alcoholic. I mean, because it sounds so negative.
Right.
An addict, an alcoholic.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it is. What was your drug of choice? It sounds like you went through a lot.
Yeah, I went through all of them. But what I ended with was meth, heroin, and I even got into the bath salt. And that, I think that's what really kind of did it for me, because the bath salt was a really screwing me up mentally. And I could see that, like I knew it. And so I was just.
It's funny. We had a guy on a recent podcast who was doing bath salts, and he described, and he was saying the same thing. And he'd done you obviously have done hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
And he was describing one night that he was on bath salts and he thought people were chasing him.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to be alone to smoke a cigarette. And so he came downtown and he climbed one of those giant cranes by himself, and those are a long way up. And he didn't go out on the arm. He stayed where the cab is on top of the crane and sat there and smoked a cigarette and was looking around just thinking that there were people.
So they wouldn't chase him.
and he just and that just shows you how screwy the stuff. I don't even know what it's made of or anything.
I don't know either. Yeah, it just you have like your mind mentality. Like at first you're like, oh, I can handle this, but then it's slowly. And I have seen some people like kind of just lose their whole personality over it. They're just kind of like sitting there, kind of zombie-like, and and I was just kind of looking around and like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I knew I had something else in me, that was better.
Why do you think you were getting high for all those years? Was there trauma?
I think a lot had to do with school. I wasn't good at school.
Because you didn't want to be, or?
Some of it, I was in resource classes for a lot of my life, and I was really ashamed of it. Like for me, even to say it right now, I would have never said that back then.
So it's like you felt like you were being treated as a dummy.
Yeah, because they'd always put me in like a separate room with like just a few people, and people would be like, "Why is there only like 5 people in that class?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And so then I didn't like try, and so I got into the drugs because that was kind of easy. I knew how to do that, and I got real good at it.
And it made you feel better.
Yeah, and then just kind of just took off from there, I guess.
So how did you finally end it? I mean, how'd you deal with addiction?
Yeah, so I just knew, I don't know, I had a plan. I was like, all right, this next time I get arrested, I had a plan of everything I was going to do. I was going to go to, I still had some doubts, maybe not this time, but at the same time, I did. I had a plan. I went to jail. They took me to court, and I saw Odyssey clients in the doing drug court in the audience, and they were dressed really nice. And I was like, oh, I want to be where those people are, So then I got sentenced to do drug court, and then I just asked for inpatient to go to Odyssey House. I even had to stay in jail longer just to be able to go there. Really? But I was like, I need the hardest of everything. I need the longest and the hardest. Like I can't just do this easy. I got to do it the hard way.
And did it work for you the first time?
Yeah. Well, so I went to a few other treatments like in the past, like some bougie ones where they just they're just fancy. You didn't really do any work. But this last time, one time through Odyssey House. Okay. So I just planned it out, and I really just stuck to it, and I did it on my own. I didn't ask my parents. I didn't even tell my parents. I was just like, I'm going to wait until I'm in there for a while, and then contact them, and that's what I did. And then finally, kind of started building a relationship with my parents and my son.
How long did you stay in Odyssey? Did you graduate?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So to go through the whole process, how long?
Well, so I was an inpatient for 7 months and outpatient for 14.
14 months?
Yeah, only because it was right when COVID hit. So everything got so backed up. Nobody knew what they were doing.
Right.
We had to learn how to do everything on the computer, you know what I mean? And so everything just got way backed up. And I was just taking my time. I was just which is a wise thing to do. Yeah, I was just taking my time.
And were you in sober living?
Yep, I was in sober living. I had a little part-time job in this little kitchen, making $10 an hour. I rode my bike. I rode a longboard. I walked. I rode the bus to treatment and then to work. yeah, I just did all the things. And then finally I got a car. My parents helped me get a car. And then I was able to, and then I got hired at Odyssey House. And then I started pursuing my fitness with Fit to Recover. Because, oh yeah, Rachel says hi.
Okay. Right. For those of you who don't know, Rachel used to be a co-host of Odyssey House Journals. What's funny is she throws out names like FTR, which is Fit to Recover, which is how would you describe it? A facility that has a bunch of pillars that works with people in recovery on exercise and diet and cooking and what
nutrition and music.
You're right.
And art. Yep.
Right. And anyway, for those of you like in Tokyo, we have a huge recovery community in Salt Lake City. And for the people who stay connected to that community, we all know each other. There's a lot of people, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in recovery. There's a group called USARA that has a thing called Recovery Days. When how many would I'd say? And they celebrate it once a year. I'd say several thousand people show up for the event, and most of them are in recovery. And there are people that you either knew from being in recovery, from going to one of these programs, from playing sober softball, from doing whatever, but it's a community that sticks together.
And that's the key thing is you got to find a community. I think that's what I was missing all those times, all those other times I got sober. I got sober and then I was like bored. I was like, I'm not even cool anymore. I have no friends.
And the only friends you had were the old ones who were doing drugs with you.
Exactly. So, you stayed home for a little bit and then you're like, so with this, and called up all your old friends. Now, all in my phone, that's all I have is people in recovery. That's all anything I do is recovery based. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta find a community. And I'm involved in all different sober communities. And just stay connected.
That's so important. I mean, the people, and we'll get to we'll talk to your job right now, I guess. You're what, behavioral health tech coordinator.
Shift lead, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So I am pretty much, and I'm on the weekends, just the frontliners. So pretty much the new clients that come in, help them just get situated with whatever they need. I mean, since I just work on the weekends when we don't have people come in on the weekends. So technically, I just rearrange for them to go to church, go to some activities, and be a good role model and listen. I do some one-on-one check-ins here and there, and that's kind of what I.
You're a friend.
Yeah.
To people who come into the program, and what you have to understand, at least at Odyssey, you work at a house that has a capacity of what, 80 people? 85 people, men and women. And I was scared out of my mind when I first entered treatment.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are these people? What are they going to be like? What are they going to think of me? What's this program like? Yeah. And you're an important connection at that point, right?
And I think, so just, and all the different personalities going on in there. And for my job is to kind of manage all that, and not get, overwhelmed and just make things run smoothly.
Which is difficult. Yeah. Think about it. If you picture 85 people who are all addicted to something with some side mental health issues as well, and you could have maybe been in prison, or you could have been out on the street homeless, or you could have come from a wealthy family. You could have been addicted to opioids or meth, or and so you just throw all of them together in it's a nice building, and it's a large building, but still,
it's a lot.
And
it's a lot.
and it's hard. I mean, and you do have people who don't function well in that environment, right? And the rules, you have to enforce some pretty strict rules.
I'm an enforcer.
What just for people who would be curious about what kind of things are against the rules you're at a particular house, but at any one of our houses.
Okay, against the rules.
Drugs.
No drugs.
What are we define them as cardinals?
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
No drugs. No sex. No. I was gonna say contraband, but that goes with drugs.
Violence.
Violence. Yeah, I can't even remember the other ones. So put me on the
Threat of
stuff.
violence.
Yeah.
Knowledge of.
Yep. No knowledge of.
And by that we mean we are a peer supported. What would you call us? A modified peer support situation?
Yes.
It's because we have professionals at the top.
Yeah.
It's not just run by the inmates.
Right.
It's so. But if you know that one of your peers is doing
something.
one of those other things that she just said, and you don't report it, then you're as guilty as they are.
Yep.
Right.
I always say on the tracks, see something, say something.
Right.
Kind of what that is.
Yeah. And so do you, I mean, are you planning on staying there for a while or moving up or doing?
Yeah, I know, because I'm kind of just, so I've been at a bunch of different departments. I've been the kitchen manager. I was kitchen manager for 3.5 years. And then I did procurement for about 8 months. And then I kind of like just where I'm at right now because I am trying to pursue like some other stuff, some fitness stuff that I...
You're big into fitness.
Yeah,
right?
so I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm trying to get certified in Pilates. I'm doing a few other things like with Vasa and stuff. So I kind of not sure which way I want to go, but I really like my fitness, but I definitely am not like at the point where I could just take that on for a full-time job. So, and then I also like the recovery aspect. So maybe go to school. I don't know. I'm still kind of I'm at a crossroads, but I'm moving forward.
Good. And I don't know about you, but I find it like my job that I had most of my life was in television news.
Oh, yes.
And it's a hell of a lot easier to stay sober working at Odyssey House than it is in television news.
Yo.
So, and then it reminds you every day you go to work.
Yeah, and it reminds me what I don't want to go back to.
Right.
For sure. And that's the biggest thing is my job totally reminds me of what I don't want to go back to. And then I also want to help guide, one or two people. If just one or two people come my way, at least I've done my job.
Sure. And you know what's interesting is most programs, I mean, it can be a 12-step program, it can be Odyssey's program or whatever, but most programs, and FTR does the same thing, that giving back, some people call it service or whatever, but that's important to people in recovery. Why is that?
Yeah, just because somebody gave it to you and you know that. And so to be able to pass it on to the next person makes you feel good.
Well, and see, I think one of the things is addiction is such a selfish disease.
Yeah,
because you're thinking all the time about making yourself happy or high or whatever.
Yeah.
And service projects or giving back gets you out of your own head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you don't think about.
And you got to be careful though. You don't want to be too much.
Right.
Because then that sometimes I've seen that go backwards too, where you're giving too much and it kind of throws you back into it. So you got to be a little bit selfish for yourself. And then when you establish that, then give back.
The thing that I had trouble accepting to say that I was an alcoholic is the fact that it's a lifelong disease. You're always going to be a recovering addict. I'm a recovering alcoholic. And the thought of the fact that you have to deal with that for the rest of your life can be sort of a bummer.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't really identify, like, I love AA meetings or NA. I go to all those. I haven't for a while, but I've been heavily involved. But I don't really identify as like an addict. I just identify as Felicia.
Well, which is the way you should identify.
But yeah, but for sure it is, definitely.
And the other thing that be it Felicia or be it a recovering addict, it's easier to deal with the clients who come in for help because you've been there and done that.
Yes. Yeah, I hear all the time too. Like, it's sometimes hard, and I kind of agree. It is hard to sometimes take advice from somebody who hasn't been in your position. I understand that. I'm at the point where I could take advice from somebody that hasn't. But in the beginning, yeah, you definitely want somebody that's been a little bit where you've been.
Yeah, it'd be like, if I read a book about addiction and I'd say, well, now I read that, like, like when you're doing opioids and you're going through withdrawal, you're sort of sick or something. But somebody can say, I went through dope sickness and I know what that is. Well, and it gives you, like, when you see somebody that has been where you've been and you see them and you're like, oh, I can't picture you like that. It gives you hope that I can one day be like that too. How's your relationship with your son?
Oh, really good. Really good. I was out of his life for about 4 years from when he was like 5 till 9. I got sober when he was 9. What's really good, my mom just has pretty much raised him. So it's kind of like, I'm more like the sister, or me and my mom co-parent.
That's sort of a cool situation.
And we all 3 live together, my son and my mom and I. So we just co-parent him. Sometimes we think that people think we're in a relationship.
Yeah.
He's our son.
What is your son, how old is he now?
He'll be turning 17 here.
And he's aware of all your past history and everything.
Yeah, he knows. And he's aware of all that. He's a really good kid. He's dabbled in a couple things, but I definitely think back what I was doing at his age, and he's nowhere near all that. So I'm hoping he's, I don't know, maybe saw what it's done to myself and his dad and is going away from that. Hopefully that's the case.
Hopefully.
You never know.
And your relationship with your mom is good?
Yeah, it's really good. Yep.
You live with her, right?
Yeah. And it was not, for the longest time, it was not good. We couldn't live together.
So she didn't even know that you came into Odyssey?
No, I think she probably heard from my dad or something that I went to jail.
Felicia's in jail again.
Again, yeah. Yep. And I waited a good while before, because I'd always call after I'd been in treatment and be like, "Hey, I'm sober. Can I see my son? Let's just jump right back in.
I'm good now."
Yeah, I'm fine. So and I realized that doesn't really work like that. You gotta build some trust.
Thank you. We're out of time, believe it or not. Thank you for sharing your story again with us. And thanks for all you do for Odyssey.
Thank you.
And yourself, too.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody from Tokyo to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you for watching or listening to another edition of Odyssey House Journals.